So let's get right into it. Want to send out a shot to my friend. She allowed me to use her Suburban to shoot this video, or not my friend, excuse me, my significant other, for allowing me, slash friend, slash lover, slash a lot of stuff, for allowing me to shoot this video, slash wife, slash all kind of stuff. Like, we got a nice mixture of twin flame energy and potential going on here, but we also have a lot of hate and extreme jealousy as well. So yeah, so definitely so what's going on here is that she allowed me to use this, and I want to go ahead and break down how the contract kind of went on ahead and closed out from my perspective, pretty much right now, based upon the profit that was Visa and the problems that I was having with HP and things of that nature, as far as with the sex contract and the problems that I was having and things like that. Since I've been doing a lot of traveling, I've been kind of like all over the place. Like, all over the place. What's happened is I've become jaded in a lot of ways, and at the same time I'm all over the place spiritually, because I left marks out west. I still got work to do out there. I got to get up to Detroit. I need sponsorship and help and things of that nature. And I just got so much going and so many people to just pay off and things of that nature. So I want to go ahead here and break down these 9 openings, because I think this is the source of, and I want to, go ahead and chop this up with you guys, because I think this is the source of a lot of, not just my problems, but our problems, and like why we're not, I was just talking about even earlier, like why a lot of people aren't having the extreme orgasms that they should have, whether you male or female and things of that nature, because it's like we weren't taught really sex in the proper way. And a lot of people, they hate when I talk about it, but it's the most important thing. Like, no matter what you do, everything goes back to it. And this is why we have the urges and stuff like that. But once we learn how to control them and do the sexual rituals and get deep into this stuff, it helps us to go ahead and filter it, so that when we do engage in that, like I was saying earlier, like you should, like a male or female should always have that extreme hard orgasm or whatever the case may be. So, what I'm saying, and a male should always be able to, like, you should need Viagra and things of the nature, or weed or dope, or male should, be able to be hard for 4 hours, really naturally. The Viagra is just doing stuff that, naturally your dick should be able to do, but then too, you'd have to invest based upon the prostate and things of that nature. Like, the prostate will require, especially for males that's like in their 40s and stuff, you've been rough all this time, like the prostate's gonna require a good, especially if you're in your 40s, a good 10 years to heal, honestly. Of like going times where you, like I was just saying earlier on the board, where you running in a cycle, like say for instance you go a year and you running in cycles of 11, whether it's 11 hours or 11 something, where you still sampling, whether it's sex or whatever you do, what I'm saying, whether females, masturbation, whatever the case may be, you still doing this in a healthy way. And that's the thing. That's why we got to get into the 9 openings. So like they say, like, it's the 9 openings in the human body, and there's more than one way to really, because this even ties us into the Visa program and how they're using our body, because there's more than one way to, like, for them to Visa you. They're going to do the same thing through these, what they call holes. They're holes, these openings in the human body, and they say there's 9 of them, but I believe it's more than that, because I mean, you got the pores and stuff like that, and of course in the woman, she's gonna have a few more openings, so she could have like 10. So they saying it's like the eye sockets, the ear sockets, the mouth, and things of that nature. Then going down into the anus, and then of course the sexual organs, whether it's male or female. So it's approximately 9, and these openings have to be what's called balanced in a form of feng shui. Is what it's called. It's a form of feng shui, and these openings have to be balanced in cycles, because no matter like what you're doing in the sexual act, even a lot of times a lot of people, these particular holes and openings are utilized in the sexual act, and they fail to include the prostate though, because that's utilized in the sexual act, even in the anus. That's utilizing both the male and female from the sexual act, because that's connected to the prostate for one thing, and there has to be an opening and a closing. When, of course, when you call like this supposed horny energy, which of course is channeled eventually and led to Kundalini and ultimate points of enlightenment. If you really, like I said, I spent 3 years doing this stuff. You really learn how to abstain, and really longer than that. Like in the course of my life, I've spent over 10 years doing this stuff. you know, on and off different abstinent rituals, and then different real extreme sex rituals and things like that. So like I was saying on an interview I did earlier, me and my partner made a lot of money from just going real fast through extreme sexual ritual. But then now here's the backlash of it. Here's the healing of it. So I know if I'm going through it, it's somebody else going through it. So I make videos to just document this shit. I mean, it's real out here. You know what I'm saying? So bottom line, like, that's why they selling this shit and making so much money. I used to work for Premium Berkeley. We made millions of dollars off of off of athletes. I knew that's how I met all these athletes, from selling them this shit, from like having sexual problems and stuff like that. So you know what I'm saying? Like, I know what I'm saying or whatever. This shit was selling like dope. You know what I'm saying? Like, we was making so much money in Berkeley or whatever. So off of that, you know, premium nutraceuticals, and that's why I say I got to get back out west, because it's all connected, man. So like, you dealing with these different holes, like once they're balanced, the feng shui in your body begins to get balanced. So no matter what holes you using or what's going on, what you utilizing in a sexual ritual, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's going to be a balance, and you know, it's like the Cancer energy is actually what it is. So, you know, the Cancer is the crab. So, of course, this deals with moisture and water. There needs to be extreme moisture in sex rituals, comes from extreme abstinence, all of that. You know, touchy feely and all that stuff, of course, it's unhealthy because it tears on both the male and female. It tears. Different stuff can happen. Or, you know what I'm saying? People, I've heard all kind of crazy stories of people losing a dick and all that from masturbating. Women getting shit stuck up in them. And I got to keep it real out here for these young kids listening to this stuff, because that's what's happening for real. And people getting stuck, women getting stuff stuck in them and all this kind of stuff from this. So it's like there's a healthy aspect to it too. And of course, all of this is used, the ears, the talking to the woman, and all of that. And it's something that's not really taught. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, all this stuff has to happen in cycles. So they can visa you, though, the negative vampires, when they want to do negative spells on you through sex. Because you got to remember, there's negative evil entities that jump in and out of your body through the sexual ritual, and they could visa you through any of them holes, though. And that's why the healing and the abstinence process is so important. And going through the cycles of 11, because that's the only way to get the evil ones essentially off of you. So that's going to do it for the sexual ritual aspect, man. I don't want to give them too much, you know, like they say. You know what I'm saying? Even for this, man, you know, how we do it, this is just like here, man. I want you guys to, like, not be ignorant and make some of the mistakes that I may have did, but then be wiser and, you know, like, have loving relationships, so we can, like they say, be fruitful and multiply, because that just means more money. You know what I'm saying? Like, the more we abundant and multiply, that's more money, more abundance. We can go further in this universe, explore. There's more to see. That's why I always tell people, that's why you ain't dead and you watching this video, because there's more to see. So we'll come back up with more. All right, I'm out.